just a quick garden update. We had a big cold front came in and our lows hit in the mid-30s. We did not have a frost. We did not hit freezing, but we did get some cold temperatures. So this is just kind of an update on where things are at. The broccoli is looking good. Broccoli is pretty cold hardy. It can sustain some cold temperatures. It prefers cooler temperatures. It's a great fall and spring crop. I did do a good jalapeno harvest before we got the cold front and made another batch of salsa. We have a pretty steady supply of different peppers in our grocery stores here in Texas. So I got a jalapeno to throw in to make it a little bit spicier this time. But I did the same recipe that I did last time. I roasted some red onion, garlic, and jalapenos. I think I had a total of 48 or so. I also had picked some pimento peppers and green peppers from the garden, so I roasted those and threw those in as well. And then the jalapeno with half apple cider vinegar, half regular vinegar. I left out the honey that I threw in last time just to keep the heat, and some seasoning. So this is my jalapeno plant. It is starting to look a little lackluster. I don't think it really liked those cold temperatures. I do have some small jalapenos on it, so I'm just going to kind of let them grow, but I don't think it's going to be producing any new flowers or anything. The forecast for the next week is 60s to low 70s in the high and 40s for a low, so it might be done. We'll see. Green beans have started flowering. They have these absolutely very pretty purple flowers, so I'm excited to look for some green beans. The beets, I have some beets growing. They look pretty good. One small one there. That second row still did not really germinate very well, but I'm fine with that. I can do another round of those. The okra is still producing. I've harvested 4 or 5 so far. The flowers are not opening as much as they usually do, probably because of the cold, and some of the leaves you can see really didn't like the cold temperatures. So I'm just gonna let these go. They'll probably be okay this week until we get cold again, and they might not appreciate that as much and die. Dill's getting nice and big. I'm gonna use that this week for some salmon with some citrus, some lemon. Brussels sprouts, again, is a very cold hardy vegetable, and they like the cold, so these are getting big. The radishes between them are looking good. These were due to pick on Halloween, and they look pretty good, but they can get a lot bigger. I did thin one small one out just to kind of see what the root looked like, and it was still kind of wimpy, so I'm just going to leave them in and let them develop a little bit more. Those greens should be a lot bushier when they're ready to pick, and most of the time you can see the root of the radish poking up. So here I just planted another round of purple radishes. So those will take 30 days, and then I'll get another batch. The temperatures this week will be good for germination. It likes, on average 50 degrees to 75 degrees. The pepper plants I think are pretty much done. I do see some flowers. I don't know really what's going to happen with those, but we'll see. Same thing with the pimento and the red bell pepper in the back. This was my cucumber bed that I planted Chinese cabbage in. The spinach never came up, so I just replanted that. During warmer temperatures, it can have a poor germination rate. Although it germinates well, you might not have as many seeds germinate. So I just replanted those. I do have one cabbage coming up, so I'm very excited about that. But the other ones didn't really germinate, and I might have disturbed them when I pulled out the cucumbers. So I replanted those, and then I also did a couple rows in the back of the red meat radish, the Chinese red meat that looks like the watermelon radish. So I have those going. These pepper plants, tomato plants are just kind of hanging out. so I'm not going to rip them out yet. And same thing with these radishes. The greens are just a little lackluster. I don't think that they're big enough, even though they're supposed to be pulled, so I'm going to leave them in. My kale's looking really good. I can start using this, I believe, in a couple weeks. But I could probably pick some of the small leaves now and throw them in salads or saute them. And then my Keuka melons did not like the cold at all. I do have a tiny Keuka melon up here. I just don't know if it's gonna last through the 40-degree nights that we have coming up. I was a little late on getting it started. I tried to direct sow it initially and it never took. And then I started it indoors, and I just started it kind of late in the season because I didn't have the room to start it any earlier. So I still have more seeds to do next year. It is a heat-loving plant, and it's good in terms of being pest resistant and bacteria resistant. So we'll see how that goes. Just a quick little overview. Happy November.